There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio1delacruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com's 2025 Marketing Me Live with University of San Agustin, Iloilo. And today, we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, TTEC, and Sagility. But before we start, may we invite everybody for the opening prayer to be followed by singing our Philippine National Anthem and the University Hymn.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below.
Gineo, perlas ng silanganan, hanap ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiging, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisihin. Sa lahat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit magwakaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningin. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya dapat may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Alma mater, dear San Agustin, beacon light shining on this fair land. God bestowed graces pouring like rain, virtue and science to us you had, symbol of truth and of liberty. Red and gold, your colors flying high, in true Agustinian loyalty. We shout your glory across the sky. We shout your glory across the sky.
So good afternoon, magandang hapon, and maayong hapon, Iloilo. Is everyone ready for today's event? I hope you all are. By the way, I am your host for today. I am Joanne Suarez, and I am from jobs180.com. And we are live again via jobs180.com Facebook and jobs180.com YouTube. So we hope that everybody is as excited as I am to learn new things today. So to officially start today's session, let us welcome the ASPO head, Mr. Sonny A. Lasala, to give us the opening remarks.
So good afternoon, everyone, to our Augustinian graduating students of batch 2025, our invited resource speakers, our alumni, friends, and the USA Facebook viewers. Good afternoon to all of you. The mandates of the University of San Agustin Job Placement and Institutional OJT programs and services focus on the activities related to the screening of partner companies and industries, requesting for posting of job vacancies and work opportunities, facilitates activities such as job orientation, pre-employment orientation and seminar, career and job fair, international consultancies, and other work related to jobs and linkages that could help students, especially the graduating students and alumni, on their employability, be it in a local, national, and international work opportunities. Today, we are having our job orientation webinar for you to acquire knowledge on how to write job applications using Resumelink, how to boost your productivity at work, and answering interview questions. These are all will be given to us by our invited speakers for today, our partner company, the jobs180.com. I would like to emphasize that as an Augustinian graduates of batch 2025, you should be a transformative community builder oriented towards God, a restless, critical, and creative thinker, and a social communicator of truth. These are the attributes that an Augustinian graduate should possess wherever you may be and in reaching or seeking out the world of employment. Thank you for your attendance and participation. And once again, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Sonny, for kicking off our event with your inspiring opening remarks and speech to our graduating students. Your energy and words have set a such positive vibe for the day, and we are so grateful for your support. And you've truly made a big impact on this event. And we are confident that the participants will walk away with valuable insights to help them succeed in their future journeys. And for our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. Take note that the question and answer portion will happen after each speaker's presentation. So don't forget to tag and share this to your friends, especially for those who are not yet here. Mention them in the comment section. So here is our schedule for today. Our first topic will be job applications using Resumelink by jobs180.com. And our next topic would be how to boost your productivity at work by TTEC. And the last topic for today will be answering interview questions by Sagility. So, wow, we surely have great topics for today. And I bet everyone is excited and ready to listen to our speakers for today. And again, shout out to everyone who is already here na. And for those classmates and schoolmates who are not yet here, tell them to come and watch our webinar because we will sure be learning lots of things that we are going to need when we enter the world of work. So again, don't forget to comment your name, your year, and of course, your course. And if you, as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. Sabi nga ni Susan Roses, huwag mahihiyang magtanong. So this is your chance to ask before you face the world of work. So again, to our audience out there, just sit back, relax, and let us all hashtag learn together as I introduce to you our first speaker. Our first speaker will be discussing job applications using Resumelink. So he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted research speaker, he has done over 1,000 of career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So let us all welcome the managing director of jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Everyone. Good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply, no? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Di ba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So, this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called Resumelink. Resumelink by definition is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobsonit.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Now, okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J, o kaya J Santos, o kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobsonit.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs on 80. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and your password na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas na miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba, antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede kang makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization, di ba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di ba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man 'yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yun talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, ito pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, di ba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O ganun, diba? So depende kung ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende kung ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So gusto mo magpakita ka kung paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari? Nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes hindi may schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the Resumelink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, di ba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen ninyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay, huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the Resumelink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, is a very good example by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako, di ba? Eh, pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris, nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, di ba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa'yo ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalatad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yun ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobsonit.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? Okay, ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs180.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs180.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs180.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file, diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na naman yung HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras yan, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka. When you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, diba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So depende. So maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print 1 long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, di ba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, doon pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide. From north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay. Diba? So, ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala. Anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think, is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ka ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontakt ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? Oh, 'di ba? Char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayong ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Kim, for that. No, and students, if you have questions for Sir Kim, please feel free to type them in the comment section because Sir Kim will be very happy to answer those questions. And baka hindi nyo lang alam, baka lang naman magpa-plus points pala sila Sir Sunny and Miss Princess. So if you have questions, type them in the comment section. But Sir Kim, while we are waiting for the questions of our student, I have here one question sa private chat. Mukhang nahiya. Tanong niya po, as we navigate an increasingly digital world, aside from the user and privacy settings on our dashboard, how can we be sure that our information is secure on your platform? Additionally, what measures are in place to ensure that our data is protected from potential hacks daw po?
Okay, thank you. Timing yung question na yan, Ma'am Joanne. Kasi marami rin natatanong yan, no? Every time we share this resume link to mga job seekers. These are the things you have to make sure that you do as a job seeker or as a resume link owner or user. Number 1, you have to make sure that you set yung privacy settings nyo. So you put the necessary information there. After you finish it, tingnan nyo kung ano yung mga information na relevant doon sa application na pag kayo ay dapat matawagan. Halimbawa lang, you put your mobile number, your landline, nilagay mo yung mga social media accounts mo, lahat nilagay mo doon. Tapos, ang ginawa mo naman, sinet mo naman ng off. Halimbawa, you turned everything off. So, what will happen? Imagine if you're the HR, paano ka kukontakin? Diba? So, you have to at least leave a few items there na pwede kang makontak pa rin. Diba? I recommend you keep your, you leave it open, yung mobile number nyo, because I think that's the most common way to reach a potential job seeker. Now, depende na lang kung sasagutin mo or hindi. Kasi yung like ko sinasabi, di ba, marami mga aplikante ngayon, tiyatawagan, di naman sinasagot. Di ba? So, yun din yung isang item kailangan mong isipin. You have to answer. Di ba? Ayan. The other way to ensure lang that the information are also secured is when you put those details there, you also make sure lang na yung pag nagbigay kayo sa mga companies, you don't just click and click. Kung alam mo yung hirit ng iba kasi parang magkatrabaho, paramihan ng click. Alam mo yung parang lakas tira, lakas tsamba. Parang billiard no? Lakas tira, lakas tsamba. The more entries you submit, the more chances of winning. Yes, to some extent, totoo yun. Diba? Siyempre, it's a numbers game. However, I recommend na piliin nyo rin yung companies na a-applyan nyo. Kasi malamang sa malamang, pagka nag-submit kayo sa company, tatawagan kayo niyan or yung mag-reach out sa yung mga HR because you are an interested applicant. As far as they're concerned, you are an interested applicant, 'di ba? So tatawagan ka nila talaga, 'di ba? Kung syempre nag-submit ka sa 100 companies, anong isipin mo? 100 positions in applyan mo. malamang pag nagkasabay-sabay yan, baka hindi mo rin sila ma-entertain. Kaya ang recommend ko, you also do your research on your end and piliin mo rin, 'di ba, yung mga companies na sasubmitan mo. Yan. So, yun, please set it up. Now, on our end, we will do our best to ensure that the platform is safe. 'Di ba? Yun yung sa side namin, sa technical side namin is we provide you with a secured platform. Pero depende pa rin yan sa user kung paano mo isi-set yung privacy setting nyo. So, it's a win-win thing. It takes two to tango as we, say it. So, we give you the platform. Please make sure lang din you set it properly. Ayan. Yan yung sa atin. Okay? So, I hope na-answer ko yung
Yes,
tanong
thank
mo, Joanne.
you. Yes po, Sir Kim. Thank you so much for that, no? So, of course, gaya nga ng sabi ni Sir Kim, kailangan rin natin maging aware. So, let's take time to navigate the platform that is given to us. Sir Kim, ito ay personal na tanong ko kasi mukhang nahihiya pa yung mga students natin. Yung most common question na natatanggap ko rin palagi. So, tanong po ng taong bayan, why is the resume link free?
Why is it free? This is absolutely free because we do not want to add burden to the job seekers. Na sa totoo lang, di ba, isipin nyo, ang dami nyong gagastusin pa nag-apply ng trabaho. Yung mga pre-employment requirements, gastos na yan. Di ba, yung pananamit, yung pangkain nyo pa, allowance, yung pamasahe, ang dami nyo isipin eh. Di ba, pati ba naman paggawa ng resume, magbabayad ka pa? Dapat hindi na. Di ba? As long as the tool is effective, yan yung mas importante ngayon na isipin. That's why we devise it na hindi kailangan magbayad yung mga job seekers. I-set up nyo lang na maayos. Yun yung lagi natin sinasabi. Please set it up properly. And then update it from time to time. So even if later on you landed a job, you're already happy working, di ba, with another company, you will always still be getting notification or a possibility of other companies wanting to target for your profile. Di ba? Pwede pa rin sila mag-reach out. Pero kung ayaw mo talagang may mag-istorbo sa inyo habang may trabaho ka, then you can always turn off lahat ng mga notifications para tahimik mo na ang buhay. Ayun, tapos pagka maghanap ka na ulit, turn on na naman. O, di ba? So, doon mo na naman marireceive yung mga invitation. Ayun po. So, I hope na-answer ko yung tanong. No? Wala tong bayad. Charge
Yes,
it to
sir.
friendship.
Thank you. Yes, we'll charge it to friendship pa nga. So, thank you so much, Sir Kim, for that. Ang last question ko naman po, sir, ay for awareness of our students. Sir, as a recruiter before, what do you think the common mistake fresh graduates do when they are setting up their resume link po and during their job application so that they can avoid it po, sir?
Okay, common mistake of a job seeker when they set up their resume link. Tama?
Yes po, sir.
Tama? Okay. Ang common mistake nito is they do not, they put everything there, which is good. Sorry. Yung iba, ito yung mga iba-ibang nangyayari kung ba't ko sabing mistakes. So mistake number 1, in any order to. Yung iba is they don't put the necessary information. They just created the resume link for the sake of having one, pero walang laman. Diba? So imagine mo, ikaw yung HR, how can you identify kung ito ba yung target job seeker mo kung wala ka naman makita? O yan yung isang mistake. The other mistake that I see is that job seekers naman put everything there, pero they do not disclose the contact detail. So minsan yung HR nangangapa din, oy, ang galing itong Juan de la Cruz na to, gusto ko yung profile niya. Hindi ko naman siya makita. Paano ko siya hahantingin? Wala akong contact detail na nakalabas. So that's another mistake that I see, no? Minsan na-excite sobra yung mga job seeker, ang dami nilagay, hindi naman sila ma-reach kasi yung setting na off lahat. Ayan. Now the other thing that I think is what you should avoid, this is for everyone, no? Sa mga gusto maglagay ng maraming information, please make sure wag kayo mag-imbento. Yun lang. No, kasi kahit naman do not feel pressured na kailangan super dami na information mo. As long as you're able to market yourself effectively, tama yung details mo, I think you're good to go. You're in the right direction. Diba? Kaysa naman sa ang dami mong information, tapos kalahati naman nun, invento lang, lagot na. Diba? Lalo kayong hindi matatanggap sa trabaho kung falsified yung mga information nyo. So yun, those are the things that I see as an HR na kadalasan nagiging concern or nagiging issue sa mga gumagawa ng resume link. Yun. Yun po. I hope nakatulong yung mga tips na yun. So yun.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that. I think everything is clear na with our students and wala na po silang question. So, I won't keep you here for too long, Sir Kim, no? But again, thank you
Oo.
so much po for answering those
I-remind ko na lang
questions.
sila, Ma'am Joanne. Tingnan nila yung link na nagsuscroll ngayon. Yan, you can check it out. schools.jobs180.com/USA o shortcut for University of San Agustin. Marami pong companies nandyan at trabaho nag-aantay sa inyo. So please check it out and create your resume link. Thank you. Looking forward to see you guys soon.
Yes, thank you again so much, Sir Kim, for joining us today and for introducing to us the resume link of jobs180.com. So, students, if you would like to know more about resume link of jobs180.com, you just simply more about resume link. If you have questions for Sir Kim, you can email him at info@jobs180.com, or you may visit our Facebook page, which is the facebook.com/jobs180. So we surely know now how to apply for jobs using the resume link, which is also very convenient for you students as you become job seekers later on. So now let's learn more about our next topic. So our second speaker will be presenting how to boost your productivity at work. So she is a graduate of a bachelor's degree in elementary education, a licensed professional teacher, 15 years of extensive experience in customer service and recruitment field. Currently a site POC of the TTEC Dumaguete and with a 3 years experience in TTEC. So let us all welcome the talent acquisition specialist of TTEC, Miss Chona Sonio.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. All
Well,
right.
good afternoon, Miss Chona. I think your screen is ready, your presentation is ready. I'll leave you for a while. I'll see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck po!
All right. Thanks, Miss Joan. All right. Thank you so much for that very quick introduction. All right. So, we're going to talk about how to boost productivity at work. So, starting a new job can be both exciting and overwhelming at the same time. So, as for you, fresh graduates and young professionals, adapting to the workplace and proving your value requires not just hard work but also smart work, right? So productivity isn't just about working long hours, right? From your 8 to 5 job, but it's about managing your time. It's about managing your time, your energy, your resources, most especially to effectively achieve the best results that you can give. So, in order to excel to your career, you need strategies that would help you stay organized, um, focused, efficient, most importantly. So let's try to explore on how you can maximize your productivity and build a successful career from the start. All right. So let's switch over to my presentation. So um, let's learn what we are going to cover today. So it talks about our aim, why productivity matters, right? The SMART goals framework, okay? Effective time management and how we focus on distractions and continuously learn and improve. Right, so that's what we are going to talk about today. So much for my introduction. Let's try to skip that. So let's go to our main objectives. So today, we're going to learn what productivity means and why it's important for you, new job seekers and young professionals. Also, we need to identify the common productivity challenges, right, that we might encounter in our work later on, how we can improve productivity, which is very important, and how to seek skill development and continuous improvement and adaptability. All right. So let's go to our topic. Why productivity matters, right? There are certain aspects why we need to or why productivity matters in our work. So here are a couple. First is to accomplish more in less time. Right. So accomplishing more tasks in less time would help you focus more on efficiency, on prioritization, and the smart work strategies, which is what I will be discussing later on. So, with that, you can be efficient in terms of your time management. All right. So, you can allocate like specific hours for focusing on work. Using types of techniques like the Pomodoro technique. So that type of technique would allow you to work in 25 to 50-minute, sprints with short breaks in between to maintain your concentration, to have or to build that type of momentum. Um, there's also what we call task break or task batching in that case. So we try to group our task into smaller tasks, okay, that we can work, that can, efficiently be worked on together, to maximize the mental switching. So if you would like to focus more on doing emails first, responding to emails, creating emails or whatnot, you focus on all the tasks that is relevant and that is, associated with email writing, and then you focus on other tasks that goes together with that specific type of skill that you need to use in that specific time. So that is accomplishing more in less time. Productivity also reduces stress. Okay, so some people might think whenever they hear the word productivity, a lot of things comes to mind, but it actually reduces stress, right? How do we do that? Because it avoids burnout. Okay, with smarter work, right? Some people get really overwhelmed with work. They easily get burned out. So one way for us to avoid that would be to make sure that productivity isn't, something that we do at a speed. So it's about balancing work and rest. Okay, you work smarter. With that, you try to reduce mental fatigue and then you increase your long time performance. So by being productive, you can get more done while feeling overwhelmed. We are, leaving more time for creativity, rest, and as well as personal growth. Um, Productivity also tries to um, optimizes results and accelerates career progression. Okay, so working on better time management would help you prioritize important tasks first. You can ensure high impact work that needs to be done first, um, probably looking into higher quality output. So, with that, you try to focus on the leads that would improve accuracy and that reduces error. So, that's how you optimize results and accelerate career progression. It also encourages innovation and creativity. All right. So, with productivity, you can boost your focus and your mental clarity. So, with productivity techniques like time blocking or deep work reduce distractions, it will allow you to fully concentrate and creative or probably look for creative tasks that would make you more productive within the day. So it will also help you become more organized, as your mind can be well organized, and it will help you be better equipped with generating new ideas and solutions, okay, for whatever task you are supposed to do. It also enhances collaboration and idea sharing. Okay, so for you who are working in a team, um, productivity could also be something that would encourage motivation, innovation rather, and creativity, because you will efficiently foster better teamwork amongst your team, making it easier for you to share insights and refine innovative concepts. So teams that work smoothly together would eventually create a culture of continuous improvement and idea generation. And next is productivity matters because it increases motivation and confidence as well, right? Now, It tries to freeze up time for creative thinking. So when you complete a certain routine or task efficiently, you have more time to think, which will eventually give you more time to experiment, right, and become more innovative. So trying to eliminate unnecessary workload um, would actually reduce stress, would allow you to have fresh ideas and be better with problem solving. And lastly, productivity matters because it creates a sense of fulfillment, right? Now, achieving goals would lead to a sense of accomplishment because once you've completed the task efficiently, it brings you a feeling of success. All right. And what better way to feel confident about ourselves than achieving success at work? Right. So these are the types of small wins that would help us build our confidence. It will eventually lead to a greater motivation and purpose. Okay. So that is about why productivity matters. And as what I mentioned earlier, we talked about the SMART approach, right? And this is what I am trying to say. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? So when we talk about productivity, SMART approach helps us in improving productivity because it gives us a much more clearer concept for in order for us to achieve our goals. So to ensure that tasks are well defined, are trackable, and are realistic, right? Will eventually lead us to having more focus and more efficient at work. We use the SMART approach. All right, let's talk about them individually. So let's focus on S, which is specific. So when we say specific, you need to have a clear definition of your goal. You need to clearly define what your goal is, right? So one thing that you need to make sure when being specific is you avoid a vague goal, all right? What do I mean by a vague goal? So let's say within the day, you are trying to set up a goal to be productive. So you try to set a specific goal, um, or when we say vague goal, you focus on just the goal that is not being very specific at all. So when you say you want to become productive, you just say be more productive, right? So that's what you write on your notes, right? That is a very vague goal because you're not being very specific, right? It's like a general term, a general goal that you're setting for yourself. So instead of doing that, you can probably say, you need to complete, let's say, 5 sales reports by Friday at noon. So you're setting a specific goal that you would need to do within that specific time frame. Okay, so that's for specific. So when you're trying to set up your goals, make sure that you are being specific with what type of goal you are setting. Okay, next, measurable, right? So M stands for measurable. That means to say you need to track the progress with your numbers, with milestones, right? Or let's say your KPIs. Okay, for example, you say you need to write at least 1,000 words per day. Okay, so that's how you measure your productivity. You need to have a specific goal or a type of measurement that you would like to achieve or that you'd like to get within that specific time frame. Right, next would be A. All right, um, A would be um, achievable, right? Of course, when you're setting goals, you need to be very realistic. Okay, so um, setting a challenging but realistic targets. Okay, we cannot say that you need to do or you need to call, let's say, at least a total of 200 candidates, okay, per day. So that's not something that's achievable. You need to stick to something or to a target that would be realistic within the day. So instead of saying that, you can say maybe you would need to at least complete an interview, let's say 10 interviews per day. If that's something that's achievable for you, then go for that. Or maybe you would say, I need to go on a diet, I need to lose weight. So I'm setting a goal that's achievable for me. So let's say doing exercise for at least 2 hours a day. That's something that's achievable for you. Okay, so be realistic. Set your goals and targets in a realistic manner or in a realistic number. All right. Next would be the R, which stands for relevant. Okay. You need to make sure that your goals match your long term objectives. Okay. For example, if you have the intention to let's say grow your career, okay, so for your career growth, so let's say if your career growth is more is your focus, then you would need to set like a relevant um, uh, a relevant time frame, and you would say, let's say you need to complete like any type of course or any type of training, like an online certificate within the next 3 months, that would help you elevate or increase or grow your career in the next few years of your stay at a certain company. So you need to be I mean, your goals need to be relevant, needs to be aligned to what you would like to achieve in the future. Okay. Next would be time bound. Very important. So, with time bound aspect of the SMART goal setting, you need to ensure that tasks have a clear deadline. Okay, which focus more on, um, probably preventing procrastination. It would also enhance efficiency. So, without deadlines, you will not be able to achieve productivity, okay? Because these tasks may drag on to be indefinite, okay? Because there's no specific timeline that you're giving yourself. So, with that, you can also set examples like maybe you would need to finish this task by finish making a presentation by, let's say, 5 p.m. today. So you need to set a certain deadline for these tasks to be accomplished in order for you to have a more productive work or a more productive time with regards to your work. So that's following the SMART goal framework, or otherwise known as the SMART approach. All right. You'll get to know more of that later once you engage yourself, immerse yourself with the actual work. All right. So, effective time management. All right. So, these are the things that you would need to take note of in order to effectively manage your time. So, first is you prioritize your task. Okay. Make sure that you're able to work on the things that needs to be worked on first, the important task first, as it would take a lot of time, and then focus on working on the less important task that does not take a lot of your time. All right. So that's prioritizing your task. Rest and recharge, of course, right? We are just human beings. We're not computers. We're not made to work 24 by 7. We need time to rest and recharge. So, giving yourself ample time to rest in betweens, that's why we have breaks, that's why we have lunches, so that we can utilize our time well and that we will be efficient enough to work on whatever needs to be done at a later time to become more productive. Okay. Plan and schedule, of course, that's really important when you are managing your time well. You need to plan out your schedule. You need to make sure that everything is being set in place and everything is, everything is being set at a specific time and at a specific date when it's supposed to happen, right? And next is eliminate distractions. So, one thing that would make our time more efficient and more productive is to eliminate whatever distractions or whatever causes us or delays our work, right? So it could be maybe You're the type of person who goes with, a certain rhythm, right? And once that rhythm gets cut off, or is not no longer synchronized, then you lose focus. So try to avoid those types of distractions, because it will definitely slow down your work. So that's how you can effectively manage your time well. All right. So those are some of the things that we need to consider whenever we talk about managing our time effectively. Okay. Right. Let's focus on the distractions. Okay. So you need to figure out what distracts you. Okay. So what are the things that prevents you from being productive at work, right? There are a lot of factors. It could either be social media, it could be notifications, right? Noise, fatigue, or overthinking, right? So these are just some of the things that might hinder our productivity within the day. Okay, so this is something that we need to avoid in order to make sure that we are being productive at work, right? So create a distraction free environment. Okay, so what do we do? How do we do that? We declutter our workspace. Okay, some people are not able to focus well if their workplace is not as tidy as they want it to be. Right, because untidy workplace would eventually give you um, it would eventually cause distraction to a person, considering that some people are not able to focus when their environment or when the workplace is not too tidy. So it's also very important to keep a tidy workplace, right? Especially if you're working at the office, or whether you're working at home or on site. Right, use a noise canceling headphone. Right, of course there could be times when we do not have control over what's going on, what's happening in our environment. That is something that's inevitable. We cannot change that, and we cannot stop that from happening. So, in order for us to do that, in order for you to be more focused on work, you need to probably use gadgets or headsets, maybe, that would not capture a lot of noise, so that you won't be distracted with whatever you're doing. All right, limit digital distractions. So that's also something that we need to remember whenever we are um, moving away from any distractions that might cause us, or might delay our work. Right, so we also need to improve focus. Right, so how do we do that? We use the Pomodoro technique, like what I mentioned earlier. So it's like the 20 to 25 minute work that you do consistently, and then having, rests in between. That would definitely help you become more productive, because this is something that that would work whenever you need to choose a certain task that you want to work on. So trying to set a timer for 25 minutes, and then avoiding complete distractions until the timer rings, until the time is has ended. And then once that's done, you take like a 5-minute break to try to refresh your mind, and then try to repeat the cycle again. All right, so that's how it works. So um, this is what we call the Pomodoro technique. So it's like a simple guide to time management. This has been, developed and has been used in the late 1980s, right, to help a person stay focused, to avoid burnout, right, and to boost productivity by breaking into work in a shorter time, and has intervals in between. So that's how you also try to minimize distractions. Deep work session, that's also very important. Meditation. Okay, so it's something that most people does not do, but it actually works well for them. So this is also something that would help you improve on your focus, because a sound mind, a sound body gives you a sound mind. All right, that's what they say. Eat healthy and stay hydrated. This is actually very true, but it's not something that most people would actually prefer doing. But I would suggest that, in order for you to stay focused on work, you need to make sure that you have enough rest, you have enough sleep, you are hydrated, so that your body and your mind can function well with each other. Okay, so train your brain for better focus. Okay, so single task over multitasking. Now, there are some people who might be good with multitasking, and that's something that I really admire, okay, because I'm not the type of person who does a lot of multitasking or who's good with multitasking. I can be more focused on working on one task at a time, making sure that the task is done before I proceed to the next. But if you can handle multitasking, then why not? Right? That's also something that you can eventually train your brain. So you can start with doing single tasks first. Probably try to focus on maybe um, providing like a certain time that you need to have this task done, and then eventually increasing it to a um, much more greater task with less time that you give yourself, and then eventually transition to multitasking, handling different tasks all at the same time, and making sure that you commit less errors. It's also something that would make you more effective at work. Using the 2-minute rule. Okay, so the 2-minute rule is something that's also very important. So it's actually like a simple hack for instant productivity. So the 2-minute rule is when you try to take if the task takes less than 2 minutes, then you do it immediately, right? But if the task takes more than 2 minutes, then you start it right away to build that momentum. All right. So with this type of strategy, or with this type of rule, it will help you stop procrastination. Okay. Because small tasks do not get postponed. Okay, so you will not be caught up with not being able to complete a task. It also gives your mind a much more clear mental clutter view, because you would notice that the task would be fewer. There would be fewer unfinished tasks. That would mean less stress for you. Okay, and it will also boost your momentum. So taking small actions will eventually make or start a bigger task easier. um, and most importantly, it improves efficiency, because you're working on the quick tasks first, and it does not get to be piled up or become too overwhelming for you. So that's the 2-minute rule. And pre-workout routine, of course. So trying to train your brain to have these types of work in this specific workload would actually help you become more focused at work. Um, Also, manage mental distractions. So try to set a clear goal. Okay, if it's possible, you can use the SMART technique. And also, if it's necessary, try to reward yourself. Okay, this is where the line, um, the saying goes, I deserve this, or you deserve this, or deserve mo to. So that's where it comes from. So try to reward yourself every once in a while, okay? But it doesn't mean rewarding yourself too much, right? Just like a kid, when you promise something to a kid and they are able to perform it, or they're able to do it within your expectations, you try to give them a reward, and they always look forward to it. That's also something that you can try to train your brains with. Okay, so if you are able to do this, you could probably reward yourself for that. So that's it. Okay. Continuous learning and improvement, of course. So there is adapt a growth mindset. Okay, so it embraces challenges as opportunities. We get to learn from our failures and our feedback. Okay, um, we are able to stay curious and open to new ideas. So that is how we are able to improve. set learning goals, right? So you can either set your learning goals as a short term or as a long term. Maybe if it's shorter, you could do daily or weekly goals that you would need to achieve or would want to achieve. But it's for a much more longer term. Okay, let's say for career growth in the future, or you'd like to have um, a certain call what do you call this a certain position in the company that you'd like to achieve in the next few years, then you can probably try to set your goals monthly or maybe yearly. Utilize various learning resources. So we have their books or articles that you might come across, online courses and certificates, right? This is something that's very open to everyone at the moment, given the advantages of technology. So we are no longer stuck with the old school technique of, looking in through magazines or trying to read books, although some people would prefer it that way. But there are lots of ways on how you can utilize learning resources, and that's totally up to you which one is more comfortable for you would apply. Applying what you learn. Okay, so once you're able to learn a certain type of technique, and if you think this works for you, you can also share that to others, right? It's also a way for you to collaborate with your team, share new ideas, experiences, right? Maybe if it works for you, maybe who knows, maybe it would also work for your teammate, right? You try to teach others, you try to continuously develop certain skills that might be workable for you and might be beneficial for the team in the future, or for the company at least. Okay, build productive learning habits. So you also have your scheduling time. You can also track your progress. There are a lot of applications that you can use to track your progress within the day. So with us in TTEC, we try to create like a calendar that of the tasks that we need to do within the day, and we try to do like a checklist. So we try to check the progress of um, the progress of the tasks that we are able to do and we are able to complete within the day, and that will also help you remember whatever task that's still unfinished, that needs to be done within that day. So also commit to continuous improvement. Of course, we do not just stop here. Once we learn this type of technique, once we learn how to develop our productivity and how to enhance it, we do not just stop there. Okay. There is always continuous growth, there is always continuous improvement. So the best thing that you could do there is stay motivated, right? Do not let stress drain you, because eventually you're going to get burned out, right? And in this type of job, in this type of world that we live in now, everything is always fast paced. So it's really important for you to keep up with the times. But once you develop a certain skill, do not just stop there. Do not become stagnant. So you need to develop yourself. You need to commit to continuous improvement in order for you to become more successful in the future. Okay, so those are the things that we are able to do for continuous learning and improvement. Right. So, if this is something that you found effective, and you also like how we're able to go through these sessions, and you also want to check out what's happening in our page, and maybe apply in the future, there's always a lot of opportunities for you or waiting for you at TTEC. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background, TTEC has a lot of locations, right? May it be across Luzon or the Visayas. I am actually located in Dumaguete, so we have numerous sites within different parts of the region. We have more than 10K free courses and learning modules that we are able to do. So some of our or most of our specialists are already equipped with certain types of skills, because we do constant trainings, we do constant evaluations, and we make sure that we do not just stop with whatever we know. We continuously learn and develop. Right. We also have mentorship programs. So that's also something that we offer here at TTEC, considering that, we understand that there are going to be people that would join the company that does not have any work experience just yet, there's also opportunity for us to train these newbies and become better individuals, better call center agents in the future. HMO coverage for employees and their dependents. Of course, we're very fortunate to also have HMO or health insurance coverage for ourselves as employees and our dependents, right? Educational assistance program. So TTEC is also very positive with career growth and better opportunities for our employees. So we also offer educational assistance program. So if you're the type of person who, would like to have further studies or go through their, further education, like taking their master's or their doctorate degree, we fully support that. That's why we also offer educational assistance program. And of course, we also have our employee counseling program. This is something that our employees gets to enjoy as part of our benefit here at TTEC for all our employees. And if you happen to have any questions, if you happen to think that this is something that might be a career for you later on, if you want to be like me, like a talent acquisition specialist, you could also apply for any job openings that we would have in your respective areas. You can visit our website at ttechjobs.com and we'd be happy to process your application from there on. Thank you so much. Before I end my presentation, I would also want to share like a quote that I came across this morning. It's one from one of a very famous author that most of you might know. This is from Stephen King. So he mentioned that amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. All right. So that's it. So that's the food for thought. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the session. And I am now open to any questions that you might have. Miss Joan, I bring it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Chona, for that very wonderful presentation. Kahit po ako, I really learned a lot, lalo na sa deserve ko to, because I'm more on the side that talagang ginagamit yung deserve ko to term po, no? So, again, students,
Yes.
if you have questions to Miss Chona, feel free to type them in the comment section. But, ma'am, while we are waiting for their question, I have here question also.
Sure.
Tanong ko lang po, what's the impact of remote work naman po on productivity compared to working in an office setup?
Okay. Well, for me personally, there isn't much impact, right? Whether you're working from home or whether you're working on site. I'm personally working on site, but eventually I will transition to work from home. And with us here in TTEC, with us recruiters, we are given the opportunity to work from home as well. So at least twice a week, and then we report on site 3 times a week. But I wouldn't say that there would be an impact or a difference between working from home and working on site. It mainly depends on the person. Okay. If you're the type of person who would just slack off work and, even if because you feel that you're not being watched or you're not being monitored, then it totally depends on you. But for if you're the type of person who does not need, that much supervision and you can work on your own, um, you know, productivity would still be there. So I don't think there would be any impact or any difference with working from home or working on site. Just as long as you know what you're doing and that you are productive enough to work on the task that needs to be done within the day, then it doesn't matter whether you're working from home or not.
Yes, I agree to that also, ma'am, no, as someone who is working from home. But thank you so much for answering this question. I have here, ma'am, my second and last question for today. So,
Yep.
tanong lang po ay what are some ways to maintain productivity without burning out?
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I'll give you one specific example. Here in TTEC Dumaguete, we are what we call Team Honda. All right. So Honda means we make sure to log out on time. Okay. Our schedule is always set at 8 to 5. So 8 a.m. and then we end at 5 p.m. we want to make sure that we don't get too burnt out with work because, sometimes within the day, the work gets too overwhelming. There are a lot of meetings, a lot of deadlines, a lot of applicants, right, that you get to meet every day. And let's just be frank, not all of those applicants are qualified for the role that you're currently offering. So there are going to be times when you would have good days and bad days, right, as what they say. Okay, but to make sure that you don't get burned out, make sure that you log out on time. Okay, do not overwork yourself. Okay, do not put a lot of stress on yourself. I know that there are certain deadlines that you would need to meet, but as long as you're able to do the tasks well and you're able to finish your task on time, there's no need for you to do any overtime work. And here at TTEC, we have a type of work environment where we always prioritize work-life balance. We want to make sure that our employees are given ample time to rest. So that's 5 days a week of work, and having 2 days of rest will definitely make a person feel more recharged the next week after or the following week. So we try to maintain that. And we also have engagement activities that would, lessen the workload of our employees. So we get to have like summer parties, year-end parties that we get to enjoy. So that's also one thing of making sure that you don't get too burnt out. All right.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Miss Chona. And being in Dumaguete is, I know Dumaguete is a very relaxing place to be. So
It
again,
is.
yes, thank you so much po, Miss Chona, for joining us today po and for teaching us how to boost our productivity at work. We wish to have you
You're
in our next set
welcome.
of webinars po, Miss Chona.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Miss Joan.
Thank you po. And if you are interested in applying for a job at TTEC, just visit jobs180.com/TTECjobs. And students, if you have additional questions, you can email us at info@jobs180.com, or you may visit jobs180.com. So I hope that you guys are still there. I would like to remind you that there will be an evaluation at the end of the program. So if may mga pasaway, kamuda ang classmate, schoolmates, and kakilala that is supposed to be here, learning here in the webinar, please tell them that there will be an evaluation at the end of the program. And take note that evaluation will be open until sorry for that, 12 p.m. or 12 noon tomorrow. So again, let's remind those pasaway students that we have, if may mga pasaway, but I believe University of San Agustin is very obedient students. No? So we are down at our third speaker. Our third speaker will be answering interview question. So he is a graduate of Bachelor of Science, major in Finance and Management Accounting in 2007. He has almost 15 years of experience in customer service sector. He is a co-founder of an organic and eco-friendly tote bag manufacturing business named Tingob PH in Iloilo City, which helped the local bag makers during the pandemic. He is an outgoing person and loves to travel in local and international places. So let us all welcome the HR sourcing lead of Sagility, Mr. Jason Basa Dumalag.
All right. Thank you so much, Joanne, for that introduction. Let me just
Yes.
present my screen. Thank you.
Yes, sure, sir. And while we are waiting for the presentation of Sir Jason, students, if you have questions later on, feel free to type them in the comment section. Kung nahuya ka mo mag-Tagalog or mag-English, imuan yung Ilonggo because Sir Jason here is, I believe, can understand Iligay nun. So, if nahuya ka mo, type them in Ilonggo, wala ginakaso because Sir Jason will be happy to answer those questions that you have. So, again, while we are waiting for the presentation of Sir Jason, no, students, reminder that there will be an evaluation at the end of our program today, and that evaluation will be open until tomorrow, 12 noon. And take note that there will be two evaluations. So later on, students, make sure to scan those two evaluations and to access those two evaluations so that you can secure your attendance. Kasi kahit na nandito kayo ngayon, kahit na nag-register kayo earlier, yung registration natin ay magva-vary pa rin talaga doon sa evaluation natin. I think, sir, You can try to present your screen po by clicking the window so that students ay excited na to learn what no. So,
Okay.
I think,
Thank
sir,
you.
your
Thank you, Miss.
screen is off. I'll leave you po muna. I'll see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A po. Good luck!
Sure, sure, no problem. Thank you, Miss Joanne. I'll just check if you're able to see this. All right, so there you have it. So I hope you're able to see the audio video presentation we have here for Sagility. Now, I know it's not my first time to be part of the speaker or be one of the speakers here in University of San Agustin. I believe that was last year. I became a speaker too. So hopefully you guys would be able to join me until the end of the session for this one. So what I'm going to discuss to you guys today is mastering the art of interview and how you're going to ace an interview. Okay, this is very important for you guys. It's because I know for sure some of you are graduating students, or some of you might be looking for a job right after graduation. All right, and this is the perfect timing. It's because things I'm going to discuss right now or discuss today is about those common interview questions you'll be having and how you're gonna ace it. Okay, so let's buckle up. Again, my name is Jason, and I'm the HR recruitment officer here, of Sagility Iloilo. Okay, so let's start with common interview questions and how to answer them. Okay, I have listed a couple of interview questions here for you guys, so that you would be able to know what are the specific questions we ask during screening questions or during our initial interview. Okay, and feel free to answer these kind of questions as well right after I give you tips for how you're going to answer these questions. All right. Now, if you want to say in vernacular or in Ilonggo, pwede man. Okay, it's because I'm a pure Ilonggo and I can understand Ilonggo terms too. Okay, so the first and very common question we always have, or we always have to ask our candidates is, tell me about yourself. Okay, remember, Sir Kim mentioned about you have to make sure that you have a good resume. It's because first part of the screening process we have is we do the paper screening. Okay, and during that paper screening, we look at we look at your information on your resume, What what school did you graduate? What course did you take in college? And what are your qualities as a person? Okay, all of those achievements and things that you have listed in your resume, we run through that before we start the interview. All right. Now, the main reason why I want you to remember what Sir Kim mentioned, wherein resume is very important, it's because the first question that we have to ask you is, tell me about yourself. um, some of the candidates, usually most of them, fail during this type of question, during this interview question. It's because they answer the same information what they have on their resume. Okay, they would say things redundantly. No, it's not supposed to be given. It's because we already know those basic information you have based on the resume that you have provided. So my tip would be, if someone will ask you, or an interviewer would ask you, tell me about yourself. That interviewer particularly would wanted to know more about your personality, or those information not written on your resume. Okay, I would give you an example on how I answer this type of question. Like, tell me about yourself. So I would say things like, hi, my name is Jason. I'm a person who loves to travel if I'm out of work. And for my 17 years of experience in customer service, I believe that there are two types of people, or two types of employee. One employee is a person who goes to work, um, perform, and then pays the bill, and then same routine. And the second employee would be, an employee goes to work, perform the duties and responsibilities, pay the bill, and excel on each task or performance he or she is given. And I know for sure that I'm the person who is capable to work on this type of role. Okay. So with that being said, for that type of answer, you're giving the interviewer an opportunity to know more about you and how you can be of be of value to the company if ever you'll be hired. Okay, it's okay naman na you would say like, for this question, tell me about yourself. You can say things about your course, about your skills and everything. That's still okay. All right, it's because for this one, there's no right or wrong answer, but it's how you deliver the conversation throughout throughout the interview process. Okay, because it's still the decision of the interviewer if he or she would give you a pass when answering this type of question. But just for a tip, it's best na if you answer this question, which is tell me about yourself, it's best na it's personalized, and it gives the effort of you giving the information without something being written on your resume. Okay. Now, the second question, which is very common as well, is why should we hire you? Okay, I I personally, as an interviewer, I usually ask this question to my applicants. Why? It's because this gives me the benefit of the situation we're in. If this person, but if you're the person that we're looking for and fit for the role, okay, and usually there would be a lot of flowery answers you would be able to hear for the candidates. All right, but what we're looking for this candidate to be specific is how the candidate is dedicated towards work, and what can that candidate bring value to the company. Okay, if you wanted to, or if if I would have to answer this for you guys, why should we hire you? It's best that you highlight what you can bring to the table. What are your skills and expertise towards the role you are applying, and at the same time, how can you bring value to the company based on the course that you graduated. Okay, and it's very important that when you applied and this particular question will be asked to you, you're prepared to present something out of those characteristics and skills that your interviewer is asking. Okay, so to answer this, I would say like, I know that I applied for a role as a customer service representative, and if you're looking for someone who's versatile, who's good in communicating, and also can bring deep value to your organization by making sure that we provide providing good customer service to your company, and I'm the best person to hire for this position. Okay, so that's highlighting what what you really are and what you can bring to the company. Okay, the next, again, if you want, feel free to answer the questions in the chat. If you wanted to test your interview skills as well, you can you can answer that on the chat room if you want to. Now, the third question would be, what are your strengths and weaknesses? This is most of the common questions as well. It's because this measures what are you capable of when it comes to delivering your skills and expertise towards the role or towards the company that you are applying for. Okay. Well, I don't want to elaborate further as to what you can, what you can answer on this one is because everyone has a different side of strengths and weaknesses. But for this particular question, I want you guys to highlight what you really are capable of. If you're good in, if you're an IT specialist, or if you're an IT graduate who's applying for as an IT specialist, highlight the specific skills that you have learned in school. If it can be programming, um, website developing, you have to highlight those kind of things. Okay. Now, if you're a management graduate, or you took management courses, highlight what kind of management skills you have gained through during your college days to make sure that you're able to answer this kind of questions. And sometimes your weaknesses can be your strengths as well. It's just on how you correspond that weaknesses to consider as your strength. Okay, because for those kind of weaknesses that we have sometimes, it develops the ability that we're able to encounter those kind of things that we are weak of. Okay, and then the fourth common interview question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Okay, or where do you see yourself in 5 years? I guess this is pretty basic, all right. Especially if you start looking for a job, usual question of the interviewer would be this kind of question. Why? It's because it tests your commitment towards the company, and as well as how valuable you are to, or how you value the company itself towards the next 5 years. We fail some of the candidates in answering these questions. It's because their answers are not aligned to their goal towards the company that they are applying. May iban mahambal na sila na even though they applied as a customer service representative, they would say like, I wanted to be a nurse in the next 5 years. Okay, I wanted to pursue my career, which is an accounting graduate for the next 5 years, which is not aligning to the role that he or she applying. Remember, you can only give your 5 years prediction of yourself to the role that you are applying. Okay, I guess my point here is, if you're applying in a BPO setting, which is a customer service representative, and they would ask you, how do you see yourself in 5 years? You would say like, you will pursue your career in nursing for the next 5 years. So that limits the ability of your of the interviewer or the employer to retain you. It's because you have the intention to resign in the next 5 years. The goal here is, if you applied for a customer service representative role, it's always best now you outline, for the next 2 or 3 years you'll be one of the supervisors of the company, and then the next 5 years you would see yourself as one of the operations manager. So I guess that's how the ladder of success you have. You are seeing yourself for the next 5 years. I guess for me, there's nothing wrong naman na, what do you call this? Uh, well, there's nothing wrong naman na you would answer straightforward to your interviewer, but again, it's still dependent to what company you are applying for. Okay, because for this particular question, it values loyalty and it values retention. So if the interviewer doesn't see you, or doesn't see you as a person who can retain himself or herself for the next 5 years, and definitely it would be a red flag for you during the interview. Okay, and last very common question, I always, or we always ask to our candidates is, why do you want to work here? Okay, so this question, it embodies as to how or what do you know about more of the company, okay, and what's the main reason why do you want to work in the company, all right. We all have reasons, why do we want to apply in in the company that we wanted to apply to, but it depends on how you deliver the reason as to why do you want to work in the company. um, I have encountered some candidates or some applicants. Now I would say it's because of my family. It's because I wanted to support my siblings, things like that. Well, that's okay. All right. Again, there's no right or wrong answer for what's your purpose in applying to to the company, but you have to make sure that you answer this, which is aligned to the main goal that you wanted to apply and why you wanted to pursue your career on that particular company. Okay, so for these type of questions, I hope you guys would be able to identify about what are the things that you would be able to answer during your interview to any of the company that you have to apply for work in the near future. And at the same time, hopefully this gives you the benefit of not mainly making it structured and memorizing about what to answer, but this would just give you the ideas of what are the things that you have to answer during your interview questions. And the best approach for this, as always, would be concise on delivering your answer. Okay, always be specific. All right, it's because if if you are rambling your words and your answer, and you're not being concise during the interview process, your interviewer would definitely would think about if you're really that interested or if you're really that sincere in during your application. All right, second is be confident. This is very important because we would really know during the interview if you are not confident delivering your conversation or just making stories because you're stuttering when it comes to the questions we are throwing. Okay, and always wear that confidence of yours, is because that would um, you know that would lead you to answer the questions confidently, and that would give you the best, or the best out of you during the interview. And make sure that always, this is what I mentioned a while ago, na i-align, or we have to align the answers with the role that we are applying. Okay, may it be call center setting, may it be a private institution, or may it be in the specific role that you are applying for that particular company. All right. Now, the next slide would be is the type of interview questions we are asking to our candidates. All right. So there are a couple of it, but I'll just give you two based on what we deliver in a daily basis. So there are two types. Behavior. One is behavioral, and the second one is technical. So I'll discuss to you guys as to how we conduct behavioral questions and how we conduct technical questions as well during the interview process. Okay, so for behavioral questions, we assess soft skills on this one. Okay, this is what I like the most. Why? It's because during the interview process,
Good
there could be like
afternoon,
hypothetical.
Sir Jason. Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you po, pero I think your presentation is gone po. Hindi po siya naka-shared.
Oh, seriously? Hold on.
Yes, sir. Yes, well, sir. That is so. While we are waiting for Sir Jason, again, sorry students for interrupting the presentation of Sir Jason. I know that you are hooked to the presentation na, no. But while we are waiting again for the presentation of Sir Jason, if you have questions, feel free to type them in the comment section below. So if you have questions, wag kayong mahihiya. So just feel free to ask those questions that you have to Sir Jason. No? So I think Sir Jason is now navigating his presentation and we'll be ready in a while to answer those questions that you have. So
Is it okay now, Miss Joanne?
yes, sir. Your screen is up. I'll leave you again po. Sorry for the interruption
Okay,
once again.
no problem. Sorry, my bad. All right. Thank you for that, Miss Joanne. So as I mentioned, there are two types of interview questions we are asking to our interviewers or to interviewees rather. One is behavioral, and the second one is technical. Okay. So as I mentioned, for behavioral, we assess soft skills on this one. Okay, this is what I like the most, is because this is where the applicants converse during the interview. Okay, there could be pre-qualifying questions that we ask. Most of them are answerable by yes or no, but for behavioral, this really entails how skillful you are when it comes to the interview. Okay, so one best example of the interview questions we throw during the interview for behavioral is describe a time you faced a challenge at work or a challenge at school, and how did you overcome it. Okay, there's a tip I can give you on this for behavioral, or how to answer behavioral questions, but I haven't listed there sa slide. It's called the star approach. For the star approach, for me it's working. Okay, the star approach. So S stands for situation. It's like the T stands for task, and then A for action, and then R for result. So how would you do it? Basically, for this type of question, like describe a time you faced a challenge at work or at school. For a situation, you present something like, when I was when we were in college, we are bound to create our, or to present our research study about environment. So that's the situation. Okay, and the task is, for that research study, we're bound to submit it a week before our graduation. Okay, and then for the action, so for the action, for the for the situation that you have provided, would be, what did you do to accomplish that research study before graduation. Okay, so you could answer things like, um, so because we're given a tight deadline for a research study, what we've done, what I've done during my work on the research study was, I gathered some information in social media, in Google searches, and at the same time, I went to some libraries to gather information about environment to complete our research study on time. And then for the resolution is, you have to provide as to, how did you resolve it, or was it resolved for those actions that you have took during your work to complete the research study you have. So the result would be, after doing those researches on social media and some other channels, right? I was able to complete the research study on time, and I was given a grade of 95% when I had it presented. So that's how you present it accordingly, if you will be answering that kind of question during the interview process. Okay, because for behavioral, as I mentioned, we assess soft skills on this. This is how you deliver the conversation all throughout. Okay, you basically need to have good strain of words during the conversation, and most of the candidates that we interview for this one, they somehow fail. It's because some of them, they have a very good resume, they have a very good background, but they could not deliver a good conversation. And the fact that in a call center industry, it's very important that you can deliver the conversation well. Behavioral question is very important as well. Okay, so my suggestion would be, if you will be interviewed or you will be having your interview in the near future, it's best that when you answer a question for this type of question that will be thrown out to you, it's best that that you provide the best conversation that you could possibly have. Okay, wear the confidence as I mentioned, and make sure that you have to be spontaneous all throughout the conversation. Why? It's because it's really hard to create a story, or it's hard, or it's easy to tell that you're lying on these particular questions, because by and by you cannot answer the question straightforward, and once the interviewer probe another question, you can no longer answer that particular question. Okay, so soft skills during your interview is one of the very important factors we are considering, if during the interview process. Okay, second one is technical. All right, now behavioral or soft skills and technical skills should be balanced. All right, there are candidates na sagad sila sa technical, but they don't know how to deliver the conversation well. For example, one of the candidates that we have, or that I have before, we asked him, um, if you rate your skill or technical skills when it comes to accessing Microsoft Office, rate yourself, one is the lowest and 10 is the highest. That candidate is very straightforward and very honest to answer that my technical skills, sir, is just five. Okay, we wondered why, or I wondered why is just five, because he mentioned, or that candidate mentioned, there are a couple of things that that she has to understand when it comes to um, accessing Microsoft Office, because some of which were not provided during her college days, which we understand. Okay, but again, it's very basic for us to know technicalities when it comes to computers, because right now, you know all of the offices are using computers, and it would really be hard for you to be hired if you don't know the basic. Okay, and these basic skills will not be taught to you if you will be working. It might be taught to you, but um, this will just be given to you like a simple refresher. So it's always best that you balance things out, that you have a very good communication skills, and at the same time, when it comes to technicalities, you know some of those as well. Okay, and be careful, or be cautious as well. It's because some of the interviewers would ask you out of this world question, but it's still based on behavioral and technical. Like when I applied my at work before, um, I was asked like to calculate, because I'm an accounting graduate, right? So I was asked to calculate 10 times 22. So I was wondering why the interviewer asked me that particular question. So at first he asked him, or I asked him, sir, I'm not sure if the question is still relevant to the work that I'm applying, but I can answer, um, this to you. Okay, so with that particular question, it's testing your characteristic as a person, your character, and at the same time it tests your technicalities. If without given the right equipment, or without giving the equipment, you can answer that particular question straightforward, okay, or right up front. So I was able to answer the question righteously, and the interviewer was amazed. It's because some of the candidates would just simply do the multiplication for him, but I asked him first about what's the main purpose of asking that question, and if it's relevant to the role that I'm applying. So please remember, it's always it's okay to ask your interviewer why some of all of a sudden question will be asked for you. It's because it's also tells us about our how inquisitive we are in that particular role that we are applying, and how we can assess our character in a situation, in the future, that what if I'll be given a task which I'm not familiar of, or which I'm familiar of but I could not perform it well. Okay, so plainly it's more of a test of a character. Okay, so I hope you identify behavioral question and then technical questions during the interview process. Okay, next up is the do's and don'ts during the interview. Okay, so always again, if you come with if you are invited or you're scheduled for an interview, make sure first is do a research, research the company that you are applying for. Okay, because primary factor an interviewer would ask you is they might ask you what do you know about the company and why did you apply. As I mentioned, one of the most common questions that were being asked to you guys, is why should we hire you and why did you apply in the company, because that is an indication that you're really interested of the company. It's because you know pretty basic information about the company they are applying for. Okay. Second is, of course, dress appropriately. If it might be a face-to-face interview or a virtual interview you're invited of, it's always best that you wear the best outfit that you could possibly have. Okay, because for that clothes that you're wearing, that you're giving the impression to your interviewer you're excited for the role, and at the same time, you make yourself presentable and it wears the confidence if you dress appropriately. Okay, we might not, or the interviewer will not send you about what's going to be your attire, but it's always a common knowledge wherein if you're invited for an interview, might it be face to face or virtual interview, that you dress appropriately. Okay, I guess I know what you mean about dress appropriately during the interview, right? So yeah, next is be punctual and again be confident. All right, if you're given a schedule, like if you're given a schedule for your final interview or initial interview, make sure that you come 15 minutes before your interview. It's because that gives the assurance of the interviewer, um, that you're respectful for the time that were given to you, and at the same time, you value commitment when it comes to showing up during the interview. It's always sadden us, interviewer, if we have scheduled that person to a final or to an initial interview or a final interview and didn't show up. That sadden us is because it's not simply like we waste each other's time, but we always we or you we have wasted the opportunity as well for you to be part of the company. So again, it's always best that you go 15 minutes prior your interview schedule. Okay, and again, ask thoughtful questions. Okay, like normally an interviewer would ask you, do you have any question, right after the interview would be like, do you have any other questions for me? Again, it's always best that you ask question to your interviewer. Okay, like what's the environment of the company, if I'll be part of your company. What's gonna be my daily progression if I'll be hired as an employee of your company. So things like that. Okay. The main reason why it's good during the initial interview or during the interview process is because that gives the interviewer the insights that you are interested of the role that you're applying for, and you're very committed to be part of that company. Well, there are cases now we don't mind asking questions, but sometimes it's a good etiquette wherein we ask particular question to, or it's always a plus point for an interview, for the applicant, if he or she would ask a certain question to the interviewer after the interview. Okay, and with those, of course, we also have don'ts that you have to consider during your interview. Okay, first one is do not speak negatively about past employers. halimbawa, or let's say if you have worked from the previous company that you have worked with, it's we always ask about why did you resign from your previous company. It's a no-no that you give negative feedback. Okay, it's a red flag if we hear you something saying negatively about your past employer, just because regardless how you were treated or how was your experience from that company, that particular company still was able to mold you as a person you are right now. Okay, because it becomes a red flag if you say that. It's because what if you will have the same experience to the company that you are applying, right? So it speaks about your character. Again, as a, as I wanted to reiterate, it speaks about your character as a person and as an employee in the future. Okay, that's the first thing that you would not mention during your interview if you have worked from other companies. Second is lie or exaggerate. Again, during behavioral questions, as I mentioned, we assess soft skills, but that doesn't mean you have to lie things about your personality. You have to lie about your work experiences. You have to lie about everything you have put on your resume. Okay, your resume will just be like the footprint of who you are, but still there will be a couple of questions that will be asked to you about about your work experiences, about what have you encountered in life that made you that person that you are right now, things like that. So if you answer those particular questions, answer it with righteousness, okay, or answer them accurately, right? It's sometimes it's best that we personalize the answers that we're giving to our interviewer, but never tell a lie. Okay, why? It's because if you say something differently, which is written on your resume, your company that you're applying for do a background check on it. Okay, and if they found out that on your background check you have something like this, which was not provided during your interview, this would impact your employment to the company. Okay, when exaggerating, don't say that you have to exaggerate the experience. Just mainly mellow on what you deliver during the conversation. Being conversational is good, but too much is not good. Okay, and then last would be ramble or keep your answer structured. This one, this is very obvious to, I guess. I have this candidate before na when it's a phone interview, and when I ask that candidate specific question, it's like parang may script na siya na ginabasa ba. So we found out that those na memorize niya na gali ang tanan nga mga answers, because that candidate studied interview online, how to answer those kind of things. So be cautious on this one. It's because if you're thrown away a situational questions and you cannot answer, it's hard for you to retain the conversation. So always make sure na it's okay na structure the imo or your answer is structured during the interview process, but you have to make sure that even though you're familiar about those answers that you're delivering, you have to make sure that it aligns with what will be coming in the next interview questions that you will have. Okay, otherwise you will just fail. It's because you can no longer retain the conversation knowing na prepared ka for those answers that you are, you know, giving to your interviewer. And we can always tell that you have memorized your answers. It's because the way you say it is different on the way we ask you situational questions. Okay, so those are the do's and don'ts during the interview. And I guess it's gonna be the last part, which is how to stand out from other candidates. So please know that you're not the only applicants here in Iloilo or in the whole world. You might be applying for position internationally, but make sure or take note that you're not the only one who's applying. So how would you stand out? First is showcase your unique skills and achievements. Um, Remember that you put all of your skills and achievements on your resume, right? So you cannot put everything in there as well. So it's always best now when you are being asked about why should we hire you, or what makes you unique to those candidates, make sure that the answers that you'll be delivering would be somehow wasn't heard, or was it, it's really unique and valuable to the company that you are applying for. Okay, because all of the applicants can handle pressure. All of the applicants can handle stress. I guess the point is here, what makes you unique to all of those candidates that you are applying for, or for out of those candidates who are applying as well. Okay. Next is demonstrate enthusiasm and company knowledge. Again, this is very important. Like what I mentioned a while ago, it's because we would know as the interviewer, if you really wanted to be part of the company, is because you're excited and certain about the company. Okay, and it's always best now you come to your interview and you will be asked what's the main purpose that you're applying and what do you know about the company. It's always a plus point if you can answer this spontaneously. Okay. Next is provide specific examples with metrics. So example for this one, let's say you would say like I joined a student government program in our school organization before, and I've done this, I've done that. So sometimes it's okay to say things like that, but your interviewer will not believe that if you will not present something that would showcase those kind of achievements. If you have a certificate that you can be presented, or any information that would merit what you're providing, it's best for you to present that during the interview. Okay, what are the things that you have done during your stay as a student government official, or what are the projects you have performed so far. You can list that on your resume, and as well as you can provide that during your interview, during your interview. Okay, and again, fourth is ask insightful questions. So as I mentioned, it's always best to ask question to your interviewer right after the interview, or during the interview session itself as well. Okay. And then last would be follow up with a personalized thank you note. So it's for me, as an interviewer or as a recruiter, I always appreciate candidate na magfa-follow up about the application and with the thank you note on it. Okay, when we say thank you note is we you were given the opportunity to be part of the candidates who will be interviewed, things like that. This simple gesture or simple thought that can lighten the mood of your interviewer. It might be life changing for you as a to consider for your interviewer to consider you on the next step. Okay, so I hope you guys have learned something about the common interview questions and how to ace them, and the tips. So for you who wants to join Sagility, well, I know for sure you're familiar with Sagility. So um, we're hiring as of the moment customer service representatives, and if you wanted to be part of our company, you can visit us here in our recruitment hub at ground floor Robinson Cybergate on Kapavia from Mondays to Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, I guess I wanted to end my discussion that no matter how skillful you are at school, it will be tested during your interview. Okay, it's because during your interview, the best version will be the best version of you will be developed, and we will know exactly if you are equipped for that particular role, or you are equipped to be part of that role, if you were able to deliver the conversation spontaneously, and you're able to provide the right information we're looking for. Okay, in your interview might not be the or shall I say, um, it's not a test of your skills yet, but that's the first step for us to test your skills in the future. So I guess thank you so much, students, for listening, and I hope you have learned something on the session.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Jason, for that very wonderful presentation. Me myself, I really learned a lot, and I hope that students you've learned a lot then to Sir Jason. And if you have questions, gaya ng sabi ko earlier, Ilonggo man yan, Tagalog man yan, English man yan, Bisaya man yan, huwag kayong mahiya. Feel free to type them in the comment section. And Sir Jason, while we are waiting po for the questions of our student, I have here a question po myself. So, tanong ko lang po ay how can they manage interview nerves and anxiety?
Oh, okay. I got it, Miss John. Maski ako may may anxiety man during, even I'm an experienced interviewer, and I've been to couple of interviews as well. I have also these anxieties during my scheduled interview, and that couldn't, hindi na siya madula actually sa sa aton. But I guess my best advice lang for that is, first, if you have scheduled final interview and you're feeling anxious about it, do not drink coffee. Okay, it's because that would add burden, or that would add your anxiety. So that's the first thing, or first step. Second, just think about, like, it's a usual, or it's a normal conversation. Okay, it's because if you know for certain na you are there for an interview and you're prepared for it, the anxiety will just go right after. Okay, it's hard to say, for, or I know it's easy for me to say that, all right, but again, as I mentioned, I feel anxious as well if I have scheduled. But regardless what kind of interview schedule would that be, don't think about it. Okay, think lang na you are there to be asked questions, not to be threatened, or not to be, what do you call this, tortured of why did you apply. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much for that, sir. No? And my next question naman po, sir, is how about those applicants who are not confident in speaking in English? Hindi sila confident in expressing themselves in English language. What suggestion or advice can you give to them po?
Okay, I got it, Joanne. Well, it's a hard question, no? And I'm not discriminating. I'm a person who loves uh, to coach people who cannot communicate well when it comes to or anything that when it comes to conversation, right? But I guess my suggestion would be, because in a call center setting, it's very important kasi now you can speak well, eh, okay, and you really cannot be a call center representative or a healthcare specialist now in a BPO setting if you can't speak well. So that's the first thing that you need to understand. And if you didn't make it at first because of your poor or shall I say average communication skills, do not stop on learning how to improve it. Okay, they're lucky for this generation that they can study these kind of things online, like TikTok. I love TikTok, to be honest. YouTube, and a lot of resources that you can learn with how to communicate well. The only thing that you need to do is find the time for you to learn those kind of things. Okay, I suggest, as a coach before, I suggest my agents na who really wanted to be conversational. Well, you don't need to be an American, but at least you can communicate well. Okay, first is you watch English movies. Okay, learn how or listen how they communicate. All right. okay man maglanta ako Korean novela, it's because mga transcription man that right. Pero mas nami just siguro nga English movies gid. It's because there's transcription in English and at the same time you can learn how to speak in English. Okay, so I can follow someone in TikTok like I can't recall the name of the person, but that person she actually joined Miss Universe Philippines 20 I believe that's 2022. She's really engaging and helping those people na can communicate well. So you can follow her. I forgot the her name's TikTok.
I think it's Miss Ayin.
Yes, she
Ah,
is. Yeah, he's my. I love her too. I learn a lot
yeah.
from her. So one of the best person to follow, and good thing for this generation is because they can do those kind of things. So yeah, follow influencers who develop skills in English because that's for free, right? You don't need to pay for them. And then last would be if you really wanted to I believe there's an academy here in Iloilo wherein you can enroll in call center setting. Not if you really want to be part of a call center setting, but if you just really wanted to learn things about how to speak well, that particular academy will help you enhance your communication skills kung nahuya ka pa sa una sa imong klase mag English gid. So those are the things that I wanted to share so they can learn more, be conversational in the future. Mr. Joan.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Sir No. And I really agree to you that this generation is very lucky because there's a lot of platform where they can learn. It's
Yes,
just
super
take time and eagerness rin sa sarili nila to learn
correct.
that language and to learn various things also. Sir, I think nahuya ang aton mga students, no? But I'm down with my last question and I think these are the questions rin na baka nasa paminsaron man sa aton nga mga students. So, sir, ito na yung million-dollar question ko ay, how should I respond to the question, what is your greatest weakness?
Shucks, you caught me off guard. Final interview man ni ano, Miss Joanne.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, grabe na ano ba na caught on the spot ko about it. Okay. As I mentioned during my presentation of the slide about what's your strength and weaknesses. Okay, your weaknesses can be your strengths as well. Okay, it's just that you out of the weaknesses, you know how to uplift yourself and correspond it to become your strength. All right, I'll give you example. My greatest weakness as an HR what do you call this as an HR interview as an HR recruiter, my weakness is I'm bad in delivering bad news to my applicants. Okay, because as much as possible, I don't want them to feel that they failed. All right, so that's my greatest weakness, to be honest. Um, I was able to conquer that by simply making sure that if I have to deliver that bad news to that person, I have to talk to the person personally and and provide him or her the right feedback that person needs to hear. Okay, because we cannot tell right now how would they interpret emails, how would they interpret texts. Sometimes some of them feel about like it they didn't make it, it's because they are not qualified or they're not good for that particular role. But me, I address it by simply giving them or talking to them about the opportunities that they have to improve on, and that became my strength. It's because the more I talk to them, the more it helped me develop to engage with my candidates and at the same time give value to what they have brought during the interview process. Okay, again, when it comes to your weaknesses, students, it's best that you should know it first by your at heart na ay this is my weakness pala. So once you acknowledge it, you embrace it. At the same time, you have to learn how to conquer it, and then that will become your strength if ever you will be able to conquer it.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Sir Jason. So there you have it, guys. May answer na kayo pag tinanong kayo, what is your weakness? Let's refrain from answering those personal lines. Alam mo na yun, sir, yung mga sinasabi ng
Yes.
mga Gen Z people pag tinatanong sila what are their weaknesses. So again, thank you so much, Sir Jason, for joining us today po and sharing us your knowledge. No, so we
Thank you,
wish
Miss
to have you
John.
po on our next set of webinars. Thank you once again, Sir
See you
Jason.
po.
Yes, and if you are interested in applying for a job at Sagility, just visit jobs180.com/sagility. So, students, if you have additional questions, you can email us at info@jobs180.com or you may visit jobs180.com. So, I think some of you students are not yet here, but let me remind you that the evaluation link is not yet given to you. So, you don't have your final attendance yet. So, I suggest if you know someone, pabalikin nyo na sila muna dito sa live so that they can secure their attendance because the attendance link will be open until tomorrow only at 12 noon. So, wow. All I can say is that if this was my first time attending webinars like this would really help me in looking for jobs now. So, to our audience, thank you for attending and we hope that what you have learned from this webinar will be useful in your journey to the world of work. And we hope you enjoyed the session. And again, if you have additional questions, don't hesitate to send us a message on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/jobs180, or to email us at info@jobs180.com. So there you have it, guys. We're done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. But again, do not forget to evaluate this event. So the link is flashed on your screen. You can also scan the QR code, and the link is also available in the comment section. Gaya ng reminders ko earlier, guys, let's make sure to scan the two QR codes that is being flashed on your screen, which is also available in the comment section below. Sorry for that. So I'm giving you time, guys, to scan the QR code. But again, thank you so much for attending and staying all throughout the event. We would also like to thank Miss Princess and Sir Sonny. Thank you so much for your hard work and coordination in making this event a success. Your dedication and efforts were instrumental, and we are truly grateful for everything you've done. So we hope that we have imparted insightful things that would help you as you embark in your journey to the world of. But guys, we have something for you. You can secure your e-webinar certificate, which is being flashed on your screen right now. So it is also available in the comment section. But again, guys, please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for, and do not forget to check our Facebook page and do not hesitate to join our future sessions too. By the way, jobs180.com is looking for an addition in our team. So for those of you who are interested, you can submit your resume link at jobs180.com/jobs180, or you may email us at info@jobs180.com. So thank you so much, guys. In conclusion, I want you to leave with this thought that your career is a journey and each day is an opportunity to build your path to success. So take what you've learned here today and use it as a stepping stone to reach your goals. Always remember that the key to access successful career is continuous learning, resilience, and passion for what you do. So go out there, guys. Pursue your dreams and make a difference. But again, thank you so much for joining, and I wish you all the best in your career building endeavor. So the program has concluded. This is your host, Joanne, and we will see you soon. Don't forget to bring your umbrellas when you go outside. Have a great day ahead.